What does it mean when the most expensive warship ever built suffers more than 200 sewage system failures in 4 days while deployed near active geopolitical flashpoints? On February 24th, footage from the USS Gerald R. Ford showed raw sewage flooding compartments after persistent toilet system breakdowns. This video examines how technical failures aboard America's newest supercarrier intersect with global power competition, defense procurement risks, and operational credibility at a time of rising tensions. If these breakdowns were merely inconveniences, they would remain internal Navy matters. But when a $17.5 billion flagship experiences repeated system failures during forward deployments in the Caribbean and later the Eastern Mediterranean, questions extend beyond maintenance. They reach readiness, deterrence, alliance assurance, and the balance of naval power between the United States and its competitors, particularly China. The USS Gerald R. Ford, lead ship of the Ford-class carriers, was designed to replace the Nimitz-class with advanced systems, electromagnetic aircraft launch technology, next-generation arresting gear, redesigned weapons elevators, and an upgraded radar suite. Commissioned in June 2017 after years of delays, the carrier was intended to reduce life cycle costs while increasing sortie generation rates. Instead, it became emblematic of acquisition risk. A federal oversight review characterized the program as an example of flawed procurement sequencing, noting that multiple immature technologies were integrated simultaneously, compounding delays and cost growth. The sewage crisis is one symptom of broader integration strain. The ship contains over 600 toilets connected through a vacuum-based waste system with narrower piping than legacy carriers. During its 2025 deployment, reporting indicated an average of 1 sewage-related maintenance call per day. Internal documentation cited 205 breakdowns within a 4-day period, and since 2023 the vessel has required external assistance dozens of times to stabilize the system. Clearing buildup has at times required a specialized acid flushing costing roughly $400,000 per treatment, a procedure only possible in port. These quality of life failures unfolded during operationally sensitive deployments. In late October, the carrier strike group moved toward the Caribbean. By late November, official imagery confirmed flight operations in the region. In mid-December, the ship repositioned closer to Venezuela amid heightened tensions with the government of Nicolás Maduro. Following subsequent mission shifts, the carrier redeployed to the Eastern Mediterranean in late February as part of a broader U.S. military posture adjustment connected to Iran-related contingencies. The geopolitical context is layered. Aircraft carriers serve not only as strike platforms but as visible instruments of signaling. Presence operations near Venezuela intersect with regional instability, sanctions enforcement, and great power competition in Latin America, where China has expanded economic engagement. Redeployment to the Mediterranean places the vessel within reach of Middle Eastern theaters, NATO allies, and maritime choke points. Operational reliability underpins the credibility of those signals. Technically, the Ford class introduced the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, replacing steam catapults. This system promised smoother launches and compatibility with next-generation aircraft such as the F-35C. Yet integration delays slowed full operational capability. The carrier entered service in 2017 but did not begin its first full operational deployment until October 2022, more than 5 years later. Weapons elevators, designed to automate munitions handling, also faced repeated certification setbacks before achieving operational benchmarks. Comparatively, China's first domestically built supercarrier, the the Fujian, incorporates its own electromagnetic launch system. While the United States pioneered the technology, China moved to integrate fifth-generation aircraft compatibility into its expanding carrier fleet. The optics of timeline slippage matter in strategic competition, particularly when rivals frame modernization narratives around efficiency and momentum. Inside the ship, the sewage failures have imposed tangible burdens. Sailors reportedly waited extended periods for functioning facilities, while maintenance crews worked prolonged hours to contain backups. Although Navy officials have stated that mission capability remained intact, morale and habitability are integral to sustained deployment performance. Extended deployments beyond typical cycles amplify strain across engineering departments and aviation crews alike. What if Scenario 1? The technical setbacks remain contained, and incremental fixes restore system stability. In that case, the Ford class may still mature into the high-tempo platform envisioned during design. Lessons from early integration failures could inform future hulls, reducing risk across subsequent ships in the class. Operational credibility would recover as sortie rates increase and reliability metrics stabilize. What if Scenario 2? Systemic issues persist across core subsystems, from waste management to launch systems and sensor integration. Continued reliability gaps could constrain deployment durations, inflate maintenance costs, and complicate force planning. Allies relying on visible U.S. carrier presence might reassess assumptions about surge capacity, while competitors could exploit narratives of overextension or inefficiency. Financial scale intensifies scrutiny. At over $17.5 billion for the lead ship, excluding air wing costs, the Ford is more than twice the procurement cost of earlier Nimitz-class carriers when adjusted to comparable metrics. The strategic rationale was long-term efficiency through automation and reduced crew requirements. When early-stage defects generate repeated maintenance interventions, projected savings narrow, at least in the near term. Carrier strike groups function within alliance architectures spanning NATO, Indo-Pacific partnerships, and bilateral security frameworks. Their reliability influences deterrence calculations from the South China Sea to the Persian Gulf. A single vessel's technical setbacks do not determine global balances, yet flagship programs shape perceptions of industrial resilience and technological competence. Procurement complexity offers partial explanation. Integrating new propulsion, launch, radar, and support systems simultaneously compresses testing timelines. Delays cascade when certification dependencies overlap. The decision to field multiple unproven systems at once aimed to accelerate modernization but elevated concurrency risk. Oversight bodies have repeatedly highlighted that sequencing mature technologies before full integration could mitigate such outcomes. Strategically, the United States maintains the world's largest carrier fleet, providing depth beyond a single platform. However, each hull represents a significant share of deployable presence at any given moment. Readiness shortfalls during crisis response windows can alter escalation dynamics, especially in regions where rapid reinforcement is expected. Ultimately, the USS Gerald R. Ford embodies both ambition and vulnerability within modern naval power. Advanced systems promise efficiency and enhanced combat performance, yet technical friction reveals the difficulty of leap-ahead innovation under operational pressure.